Warning, this video may be too fire to handle.
I'm going to be ranking Warzone weapons. Besides shotguns, pistols, like RPGs, all that. But I think every other weapon is here. If you haven't seen my other tier list video, I did one. It's probably the video or like two videos before this one, is my guess. So you should probably see that one. That's pretty much just like the thumbnails that Testedo's made for me. That was a good video. This is probably gonna be my last tier list video for some time. Unless you have like any ideas, then maybe I'll do them. But I think I'm gonna start off. So we got S through D tier. All right, we got the AKs. I feel like the AKs are like right between a B and a C tier. I think the Cold War one is like slightly better. It's tough. It's like right between. I'm probably gonna put it at like the top of the C tier, both of them. I mean, they're not the best weapon in like anything. Recoil isn't too good, so AK-74U. I like the AK-74U. It's not good at range though. If you're like past like 20 meters, the damage drop off is pretty bad. But within 20 meters, it's like really good. Probably have to put it in B tier. I don't see it on like an A tier level. The AMAX is incredible. That's easily an S tier. I mean, obviously it's super good. The AN-94. I don't really like this gun too much. It's not really. It's like below average, like every category. I feel like has a decent kill time. I mean, I'll put it in a C tier. I'll put it in the C tier. The AS-Val, it's extremely good, but its magazine size just holds it back so much. So if you're playing like quads or trios or even duos, it might not even be enough. So I'll probably put this in the A tier for now, but it has the fastest kill time in the game by like a mile. So all right, we got the Modern Warfare AUG, the SMG. It's nothing special. It's probably like it's probably in the C tier. I mean, you know what? I'll put it in the B tier. I'll put it right above the AKs. Let's move on to the Cold War AUG. This is an S tier. I used the AUG FFAR class a few times, and I was like, before I used it, I was like, it's really stupid to use two weapons that take AR bullets because you're just gonna run into ammo so fast. But it's the AUG and FFAR class is so good. The AUG is incredible. It's probably a top 3 to 5 weapon in the game right now. It's extremely good. The AX-50 is a pretty bad sniper. Probably put it in the C tier. There's just so many better options, like the HDR, the Car 98, the SPR, so even the Tundra are a lot better options. I mean, the AX-50, this is not really that good at anything. Its bullet drop is worse than the Car 98, so just think about that too. The Bison's okay. It's nothing too special. I'd probably put the Bison. This one's really tough. It's like between C and B tier. I'm gonna put it in the C tier. It's like it's right next to the AK for me. But I think it's below it. The Bruin is still really good. Even though it got nerfed a while ago, I've used it. It's really good. I'd probably have to put it in the A tier. I'll put it below the AS-Val though, just because the AS-Val is really good. Oh, I love the Bullfrog. Bullfrog is awesome. It's the top of the top of the A tier for me. I wouldn't say it's S tier because, I mean, it's not the best SMG in the game, but its hip fire is really good. It starts with a 50 round mag. It has a good kill time. If you hit all headshots, you're killing anybody, so it's gonna happen. The DMR, it's still like kind of overpowered. It's probably not as good as the AUG and the AMAX, in my opinion, but it's pretty close. Its recoil is a little bit worse, but it's still like decently easy to control. So, all right, don't even need to talk about that one. Don't even need to talk about that one. No, they're just so. These guns are so bad. I'll put the EBR in front of it, but that's an easy D tier. If you say anything above that, I don't know. You're probably tripping. I know people are gonna disagree with me on this list, but like with the D tier, like there's no way. Like you'll disagree with me on that, unless you just don't know what you're talking about. But FAL is really good. Still, it is really good. I would almost. I was kind of thinking S tier, but it's not an S tier weapon, but it does have a really fast kill time. Its recoil is easy to control. If you want to make a class with the FAL, but you gotta make it like more long range, and then use like an SMG with it or something. The FAR 83, I haven't really used it much, but I've heard that it's not that good. Recoil is like extremely hard to control. Just because of the recoil, I'd probably put it in a C tier. Under the 894. The Fennec is really good. Fennec's an A tier. Put it in the back. It has a really good kill time. Even though you can like run out of bullets fast in your mag, it's still like really good. One of the best SMGs in the game. FFAR is probably the best. Actually, I'm gonna move the AUG there. FFAR is probably the best weapon in the game. I'd probably put it slightly above the AUG. It's just so good at everything. It's crazy. The Fin is underrated. Let's just say that. The Fin is underrated. This is I'd put it like right there in the B tier. The Fin can have an extremely fast kill time if you turn it into like a minigun, or if you just put on the adverse barrel that puts up the fire rate or whatever, and your bullet velocity and range, obviously. That would be the best barrel to use. And yeah, the Fin is really good, and it's really easy to control the recoil. You can be extremely accurate with it, so that's why it's in the B tier. FR 556 is pretty bad. I'm probably gonna put it at the top of the D tier. It's hard to hit shots with it. It takes a lot of shots to kill, a lot of bursts. I wouldn't recommend using any of the guns in D tier, or not that many of them in C tier either. The Growl is still really good, but it does get some hit markers. It's pretty easy to aim with. It has probably the best iron sight in the game, or second best. But it's either like, I'm putting it at the top of B tier just because I just don't see it being as good as any of the weapons in A tier. I mean, I can see how you disagree with me, but I mean, the only reason why I'm not putting it in A tier is because its kill time is not that great. It literally uses up all your ammo in like 5 seconds. So you're gonna need some munitions boxes if you're planning on using that most of the game. The Groza is really good. The Groza, it's kind of like the FFAR, but it's not as strong, and its recoil is a little bit better. Definitely not as strong though. But it's either B or A tier for me. I don't know. Man, this is tough. I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier. Top of B tier. And by the way, if you haven't been able to tell, the red guns are Cold War weapons. But I'm sure you already saw that. Yeah, if you want to see more like tier lists like this, then just let me know, and more Warzone videos if you want to see. Which I'm gonna have one. I've recorded so many videos and stuff, and at this point I only have like tested reaction videos up, so I don't really know what I posted up to like this point of when this video is posted. So, but I definitely will be posting Warzone videos after this one at some point. HDR is incredible. This is definitely an A tier. I'll probably put it right there in front of the FAL. The HDR is like, it has barely any bullet drop. Yeah, its bullet velocity is incredible. Its ADS speed is not that great, but it's really consistent. It's incredible. I mean, it's possibly the second best sniper in the game. Beholder, it's gotten buffed like 4 times, and it's still not even that good. But I'll give it a C tier. It's like a little bit under average at like every category. I feel like it's not really strong or anything. All right. Now this ISO is so underrated. It's actually kind of ridiculous. Kind of the same thing with the fin. The ISO it's extremely underrated. Most people would have this at like the bottom of the C tier, but I'm gonna put it right there in the A tier.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
It might be a little crazy, but I can let you know I can let you know what I use for the ISO if I remember. Just let me know if you want to know what I use for the ISO. It is really good though. In Warzone, it has a decent kill time. Doesn't have too much recoil. It's a pretty fast SMG. It really is like a top 5 SMG. I think like 5th or 6th best SMG in the game. I feel like. But let's move on to the Kar 98. The Kar 98 is probably the best sniper in the game. Just makes sense. I'll put it at the bottom of an A tier because Kar 98 is technically like the fastest killing weapon in the game if you think about it, because of how fast you can aim down sight with it, and then if you just hit somebody in the head, they're dead. But also it's not that easy. It doesn't have like great sway. It doesn't have like a great bullet velocity. It is a little bit better than the X50 though, but it is definitely a great sniper, probably the best one in the game. The Kilo is like, it got nerfed a few times, but it's still really good close range, but far range it's absolutely horrible. If you use this far range, I don't know what you're thinking. This is probably a really good weapon with a sniper, but that's all I would say. I'll have it at like, I'll put it above the fin. Mid B tier. I think that's a good place to put it. Just because how bad it is at range, it's kind of ridiculous. But it has like little recoil. I would recommend using it with a sniper though. The Krieg has a bad kill time, but everything else about it is really good. Has good range, has good recoil. Forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, good recoil. It's decently fast. So I'd probably put this like, probably in the C tier. Put it right above the AK. Actually, I'm gonna put it right below the AKs. Just because of its kill time, which kind of sucks, but everything else is pretty good about it. Actually, I'd probably put it above. Never mind. Maybe I'll switch it later. KSP. It's in D tier. It's not. I haven't used it too much, but I've heard it's not good at all. It has one of the worst kill times in the game, worse than the Krieg. It's not really good at anything. I mean, also it's a burst and has a bad kill time. It's just not good at all. So, LC10. The LC10 is really good. It's kind of like similar to a Bullfrog. When I like pick somebody's up in Warzone, and I've been using it a lot in Cold War trying to upgrade it, but it takes like 5 years, so I only got it at level 35. But I'm gonna put this in A tier, and I'm gonna put it like right in front of the ISO. It's between an ISO and a Bullfrog, I feel like, and like how it feels, and also skill level too. But I think it's slightly better than the ISO. It has the LC10 has a really good kill time. Its mobility is the only thing that's not that great. at least what I saw from Cold War, because I haven't used it a ton in Warzone. I've used it more in Cold War. It has really clean iron sights, I feel like. So, M13. I love the M13. It's my favorite AR in the game. But I'm trying not to be biased here. The M13 is super accurate. Its headshot damage is kind of crazy, but it's kind of a hit marker machine. And because of that, I'll probably put it like, I'm gonna put it right in front of the AK-74U. I feel like it's between the ground, the kilo, and like AR skill level terms. Just because if you want to use the M13, I would use it at long range, unlike the kilo. The M13, it is very nice. It is pretty similar to the kilo though, but obviously like the range, in terms of like difference of range, like the M13 has a lot more, so that's why I put it higher. The M16 is still a S tier weapon. I'll put it right there. It's not as good as the AUG. It got nerfed last season. It's still really good. It's not as consistent as the AUG either, but it's still a great weapon to use. The M4 is like always been like the average, slightly over average weapon. I would probably, it's kind of tough. I'll put the M4 right between the Grau and the M13. A lot of ARs on B tier, but I mean, if you think about it, ARs, most of them are like pretty average, so it kind of makes sense. Here we have 5 ARs in the B tier, but the M4, its kill time is good. Doesn't have too much recoil. It's not that hard to control. It's kind of slow, but it's I'd say slightly above average AR. Alright, the M80, I think this means the M60. I don't know why this is the M80. M60 is the worst LMG in the game by a mile. It is horrendous. It's horrible. It's so bad. The M60 has the worst kill time in the game, easily. It has a really slow fire rate, a ton of recoil. Why would you use it? I don't really know. I don't know why anybody would use it. The M82. I think I realized one weapon that they forgot. Oh wait, never mind. I see it. The M82 is okay. It's not that good for a 50 cal, but probably put it right behind the AX50. It's like slightly in C tier. It doesn't do that much damage. It has a decent amount of bullet drop. It's like around the AX50 tier. It obviously shoots faster than the AX50 though, but not as much damage. M91 is another really underrated weapon. The M91, if you want to laser somebody out of a helicopter or vehicle, the M91 is the weapon to use. I'm telling you, it is so good. If you want to ask me what classes I have for each of the weapons in the comments, just let me know, because I obviously haven't used all of the weapons and have all of my own classes for each one, but like the M91 I've used a good amount in Warzone with my own class, and it's really good. But I'll probably put the M91 like right behind the Kilo. I think it's an over average LMG. It doesn't have a great kill time, but everything else about it is really good. Like its recoil is decently easy to control. It doesn't have that slow reload either for an LMG. All right, Mac 10. Mac 10 is just, they should probably nerf it, I feel like. I'm gonna put it right there on the DMR. It's the best SMG in the game right now. It doesn't have the best kill time, but it really does feel like it. It doesn't have much recoil. The iron sights are clean, especially in the gallantry version of it. It's like over average in almost every category. So MG34 has a really good kill time, but like everything else about it is complete garbage. I mean, its fire rate is good too, but like that just runs out your bullets really fast. Its recoil. If you just sit there with an MG34 and try not to control the recoil on a 100-round magazine, it's just gonna fly up. So I would probably put this like above the Holger just because its kill time is so good. But if you can control the recoil, then that's a good weapon for you if you can really control that recoil. The Milano, I like the Milano, but unfortunately it's not good at all. It's pretty bad. I'm gonna put it in D tier. It hurts to do that. Maybe it's slightly in C tier, but I'm putting it at the top of D tier. Its kill time is bad. Fire rate is bad. Iron sights are decent. Recoil is decent, but just because of its kill time is so bad. I mean, it's just horrible. MK2 is another underrated weapon a little bit, and I'm gonna put it. It's kind of tough. Because for Warzone, I'm putting it at the top of D tier just because in multiplayer it's really good, but Warzone, it's inconsistent. It doesn't have that much range, so that's why I can't really put it, above the M82 or X50. Cold War MP5 is really good. I'll probably put it in A tier. Right behind the HDR. The same thing with the Modern Warfare MP5. I'm gonna put the Modern Warfare in front though. I mean, obviously they're both some of the best SMGs in the game. Even though the Modern Warfare one got nerfed a while ago, I think it has better iron sights, and its recoil is definitely easier to control. But the Cold War MP5 does have a slightly faster fire rate, so I mean they're both pretty equal, MP7 has possibly the best iron sights in the game, or the Grau, it's either one. Does get a lot of hit markers. I'd probably have to put the MP7 right above the Grau. I think that's a perfect spot for it in B tier, because the MP7 does have a pretty good kill time. Not as good as the MP5s, I think, but its iron sights are really clean. Good mobility, so it's like slightly over average for an SMG. I want to rank it higher because I like it a lot, but I don't really see it being above the Groza, not gonna lie. The Odin's actually really good. This is kind of tough to rank though, because the Odin does have a really good, well, I think it's a over average kill time. Slow fire rate, the recoil is kind of hard to control. But if you create like a long range Odin class, the Odin is like above the Groza, I feel like. Nah, I'm gonna put it below the Groza, but it's right there in B tier, in my opinion. P90. I'm gonna also put the P90 in B tier, right there. P90 is like an average SMG, has a fast fire rate, good magazine size, not much recoil. Its kill time isn't that good though, so that's probably why it's average for me. Pellington, this thing is literal garbage. I'm gonna put the Pellington right there. And some people actually like the Pellington Warzone, which is kind of ridiculous. But the Pellington's bullet velocity is horrible. The way it feels is horrible. It doesn't even have that fast of a fire rate for that gun. I feel like it should be faster. Its ADS speed isn't even that fast. The Cold War snipers in general are just not that good. There's like nothing that good about the Pellington. It's literally like the Car 98, but like 80 times worse. So it's all the way in D tier. PKM, a lot of people used to use it. It's still really good. And PKM is probably like, it's probably like just below the M13. Maybe I'll put it above the M13. And I'm putting the PKM above the M91 and the Fin. I mean, I'm sure most people would do that too because it is better. It has a faster kill time. It does have a slow reload speed for an LMG even too, but it's not that bad. The recoil's okay to control. But it is a laser though for sure. The QBZ is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of C tier though because it's not really D tier, but it has a really bad kill time, like one of the top 5 worst in the game. It's not that accurate. It's just not that good, you know. The Ram 7 is still really good. The Ram 7 is like, I'm put it at the bottom of an A tier. I think it's still A tier, you know. Obviously with all the Cold War editions though, it's not like as high up as it used to be. But the Ram 7 is an over average AR for sure. It's definitely best to use with the sniper. The iron sights are pretty clean. The recoil is not that difficult to control. There is some recoil though for sure. And it has a fast kill time, so. The RPD is okay. It's not that great in Warzone, I feel like. But I'll put it right in front. I'll put it right behind the Krig. Right. I'll put it behind the AKs actually. I think the AKs are a little bit better. RPD has a decent kill time. It's pretty slow. Not great at long range either, and which just doesn't make it that viable in Warzone to me. The Riot Tech is decent. If you put the exploding rounds in it, it's pretty good, but I think the Riot Tech it's like literally with the M82 and the AX50. I put it right above the M82 though. Like all the 50 cals are with each other. But I think it isn't as good as the AX50. It just makes sense how it's not as good. But I think it's better than the M82. It's more consistent, has better bullet velocity. S87's okay. It has like a good kill time though. It only takes 5 headshots to kill somebody, which is pretty good. It's the smallest LMG. It's the smallest LMG. Recoil is kind of hard to control though. Still pretty slow, but I'd probably put it in front of the RPD. Just because I think it's a little bit more viable in Warzone to use. The S87, it is hard to control the recoil and hard to be accurate with it though, but everything else about it is pretty good. The Scar is pretty bad. The Scar's recoil is pretty bad. His kill time is horrible. I'd probably have to put this like right there in the D tier. It just makes sense, you know. Shouldn't use that weapon in Warzone. The SKS is also pretty bad. It's like the EBR, but it's better. So I'd probably put it like behind the MK2. Not good. Alright, the SPR. This is kind of tough because it's definitely... Okay, I had closed by Google, thank you. Alright, well you can't really see the top tier for now, but if you want to see it, there it is. But the SPR isn't really S tier, isn't like right behind the Car 98, but I don't know if it's better than the HDR too. It's an A tier for me, but I don't know if it's like. I'll put it right behind the HDR. SBR is a little inconsistent and has really good bullet velocity, decent ADS speed. So that's why I have an A tier. I think it's a little bit worse than the HDR though. HDR has more range, even though its ADS speed isn't as good. They're both really reliable snipers though. So the Stoner is a really good LMG. The Stoner, I'll put it like the bottom or like right above the Ram 7 on the A tier. It's kind of like the Bruin above it, but it's a little bit slower. It's not as good as range. The Bruin is really good at range. That's why I have it up there so high too. It doesn't have any bullet or damage drop off, I mean. But the Stoner does have damage drop off. It is really good though. It's pretty easy to be accurate with it too. It has a high kill time, so that's why I have an A tier. Striker 45. The Striker 45. It's okay. It's probably like it's tough. I'll put it above the M82. Okay. We gotta break up those snipers a bit, but the Striker's it's okay. It's one of the worst SMGs, but it's not that horrible. It has an okay kill time, pretty bad kill time actually. Decent iron sights. It's not that horrible. The Tundra's good. It's not incredible, just because the Cold War snipers, their sway isn't that easy to use, you know. The sway on the Cold War snipers are pretty bad. ADS speed isn't that good, but everything else is pretty good. Like the bullet velocity is really good. But I'll probably put it at the bottom of an A tier. Just because it's not as good as the SPR and the HDR, in my opinion, but it definitely is the best Cold War sniper, and it is definitely usable. It's really good. Type 63. Type 63 is the bottom of an S tier for me. It's worse. It's like the DMR obviously, but it's worse. The recoil is harder to control. That's pretty much it. It is really good though, the Type 63. I don't think it really needs to be nerfed. Like, I don't think all these weapons in the S tier need to be nerfed. But like the Type 63, the car, the M16, I don't think those three need to be nerfed, but the ones in front, I have a feeling they should probably be looked at, just because they are a little bit overpowered. Obviously I don't really want like the top three weapons, like the FFA or AUG and AMAX to be nerfed, just because I like them, but we'll see what happens. Alright, down to the last two, we got the Uzi. Uzi is garbage, so I'm gonna put it right here. I mean, I don't really know how to explain it. Even with the 32 round mags or whatever that is, that puts up the kill time a little bit, it's still not that good at all. I mean, you can argue for C tier, but it's definitely not higher than that. And then the XM4, this is like an average AR. It has a really good kill time though, so it's slightly above average for me. I'll put it right behind the Grau. Yes, it has a really good kill time. It has a lot of vertical recoil though. It's not like that great for range, I feel like, but as like a weapon to use with the sniper, I feel like that would be like a really good one. But yeah, this is my list. I think it's pretty accurate in my opinion, but I mean, I feel like the one that people are gonna disagree with the most is the ISO for sure. But the ISO is underrated though, for sure. I guess it depends how you use it, but for me, it really got me like a lot of kills and stuff. I haven't used it much recently, but if you want me to use certain weapons in Warzone and upload it, I definitely could do that, just to show you why I have it in certain places, I guess. But yeah, if you want to do this tier list also, this is the title of it right up here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you somewhat agreed with me. If not, just let me know what you thought in the comments, what you would change up, I guess. Subscribe and like the video, and stay tuned for more in the future so you don't miss out on any turn on notifications. Why not? You know, comment, share the video with everybody you know. Save the video in all your playlists. Why not? You know, just go ahead and do all that, and I think we'll be good.
Subscribe, leave a comment if you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.